without further ado, let me bring these mics up. And we've got Sepsiss in the house.
Everything sounds so good. I don't know if are you using the headphones?
Sure am.
Are you using the headphones?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hi. Well, if you don't use the headphones and somebody calls in, you're not gonna know it.
Oh,
That's the thing.
You will have to try to suck it out of the microphone into your brain and
I was
figure out
gonna
what
say,
you're saying. That won't work so great.
I'll have to use my New England telepathy.
Yes. I didn't know that was a thing. That's fair.
I made it up.
We are fueled by fluffing up.
So everyone, I'll let you introduce yourselves, and because you're not only do you have the band, but you've got
some of us.
You've got the podcast, and you always have a lot going on.
Yeah. So this is some of the band. This is getting confusing. This is getting confusing because stage left is Lexi Swarm, who's actually our merch girl.
Hi.
So it's getting confusing because our merch girl also performs in the band with us.
I love that. I watched your videos for months.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's got music coming out with the band.
Now,
Really?
Now that I didn't realize.
Oh,
Very
congrats.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Stay tuned next year.
her and Melissa have a song coming out called Bathwater.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
coming up.
awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
it's in the future. But people have been watching her develop her scream for a couple years now. She's been developing. She has her own like scream thing going on. She can tell you about that later. But she's the merch girl, and she does some screaming and percussion of sorts. She's been doing all kinds of. She'll tell you about that.
I love it.
And then there's Zachy B, who plays bass.
howdy.
I'd like to say that he's new to the lineup, but nobody's new anymore. There's no more new, and the newness is gone. But I tell you, he has so many different departments and different roles here. Do you want to introduce some of yourself?
Some of yourself?
Just some of myself. So my name is Zach.
Pick the
I've already
parts.
introduced Lexi, so I figured.
So I'm Zachy B. I play bass. I've been with Sepsiss now for
Feels like forever.
I know. I think it's what, 7 months?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't.
Yeah.
We can't let him go.
No.
Don't
You guys are
leave.
stuck with me
That's
now.
not a pun. Letting go. That's not a pun. Zach was in other bands. Zach has been in like 15 other bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody know. Everywhere I go, we'll be somewhere in line, and people will go, "Oh," and I'll think they noticed him because of Sepsiss. You know,
Yeah. Well, bass players are in high demand, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
more than ever.
In fact, that's how I got into playing bass, was because
Yeah.
everybody wanted to play
That's how we
guitar,
got
so-
into Sepsiss
Yeah.
Yep.
by
Excellent.
playing the bass.
Well, very good. That worked out well.
As opposed to the viola.
Yeah. Although, but that, I mean, that's kind of what the conversation is. But he does so much more. And I wasn't being sarcastic. These guys do all kinds of other stuff.
Oh,
That's why I brought him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been loving all the videos I've been seeing with you guys and the images and the pictures. And you guys, you look so awesome.
You want to know
You guys
why?
have really come
Thank you.
together in this like really cool package.
You see what she's doing?
What's she doing?
Smiling.
Yeah.
We're happy.
That's awesome.
We're happy. We're a happy band again, and we're happy human beings. That's why.
she's also wearing a great shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very
I know.
sexy
I wasn't
shirt.
sure where she got that.
For those on the radio and not unable to visualize us on Comcast or Facebook or wherever, she's wearing a very sexy Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Nobody ever
T-shirt.
visualizes
Oh,
the
yeah.
people of Sepsiss ever. We don't ever get visualized.
But by the way,
we could do that now.
Rhonda Favero from California is in the chat room. She says, "I so dig this band."
Oh.
Right before you introduced him, Isaac was in there going, "Is that Sepsiss?
Yeah.
No way!"
Yeah, it's some of us. But this is I brought the podcasters with me because
Yes.
nobody else in the band wakes up until at least 10.
Right.
I'm not even sure. How many band members do you think are awake right now?
None. Besides the two that are here right
I'll
now.
tell
Yeah.
you, our drummer Salvatore, Robert Pan, is awake right now.
He's awake?
Yes.
What?
And all of the whole band's busted up. Lexi's got a broken toe. Robert's got a broken arm. Robert has been playing on the drums for the last 2 months with a broken arm.
Jeez.
Really?
Yes. So if any of the videos that you've seen, any of the live stuff that we've been doing, we just played Swarmy Fest.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing, he's been playing with his hand wrapped up, busted up, broken up, and we're talking about different departments in like all the different stuff we do here, and that's why it gets confusing at times. So this is the podcast, and Robert's the drummer, and he probably is up because he's on his way to Brooklyn because he plays in the punk band Rags to Stitches.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Nice.
But he's off to New York right now with his broken arm.
Wow.
To go play more rock and roll.
How does he do that? I mean,
I don't know.
Does he kind of do a Rick Allen thing where he doesn't really use that arm
No,
much? Or
he
what?
he's been using the broken arm.
I assume his doctor disapproves.
So this has been an ongoing thing in the company. We get there, we have meetings, you know?
Yeah.
And we talk about his arm. Well, we talk about everybody's limbs. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like what we do at band practice now. We just talk about body parts. But
So how's your limbs today?
right, we all go in, we check
Are they fully
appendages, You know what I
operational?
mean? 'Cause
Anything
you
broken?
can't play any music without
I
appendages.
feel like
Yeah.
I need to put up a fundraiser for Sepsiss to buy a bubble wrap.
Oh, there's
Maybe a
fundraisers
little
for
shaman.
sepsis.
That'd be a good
Little
gimmick.
shaman, little bubble wrap.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Tylenol. We have
Back in
several.
the day, I was an EMT. I could have been your own EMT.
Well, I tell you, there's an open position in Sepsiss right now for security, drivers, and pain reducer.
You know, it's funny too.
I feel like we need a chiropractor too.
And this
sounds
is
like
why
it.
our budget. This is why it's hard for us to play out because all the chiropractors and bubble wrap.
Well, you know, you mentioned too
fun,
your
Wyatt
your
Jeff.
drummer on his way to play in another band. That's been a big subject on the show recently. It seems
Yeah.
like every band we have on, their drummer is in like multiple bands because there's just not enough drummers. Drummers are in even higher demand than bass players.
Well, that's why most bands have laptop on drums.
You see a lot of that, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, they go, hey, this is Zachy B on bass, diddly-diddly-doo. This is Lexi on tambourine, shh, shh, shh. And this is MacBook on the drums.
Right.
Return, copy, paste.
No, wow. I didn't
Yeah.
really stop and think
It's
about
a-
that.
It's
my-
a wild world.
I
now.
don't see that often, though.
Well, that's the thing, you don't see it.
Right, right.
Because there's no people. Normally you see somebody doing this. You know,
Right, right.
There's nobody doing it.
My theory about, and Jenny's heard me say this a lot, my theory about that with the drummers is that, you know, when you're growing up and you first get interested in playing a musical instrument and you go to your parents and you have to have the conversation, well, I want to play drums. And that's the one thing, that and maybe the tuba are the two things that they're going to try to talk you out of.
Like, do you want to make noise?
Right.
No. No.
They're
We
gonna
have
try to-
neighbors.
Yeah, they're going to try to talk you out of that one. So,
Now, we can't go further into this conversation without going, yeah, Sepsiss, Metal Band of the Year.
oh, yes. Yes.
Those, I saw the most amazing images. I saw you guys holding the award and all the. Oh, I was so happy for you guys. I was jumping through the screen. That was congratulations. Hard won, hard work.
I tried to capture the moment on my phone, but I was so wound up.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, these phones now have image stability and artificial intelligence and all that. I mean, with all the lenses, I got like 5 lenses on this thing,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to capture the moment, you know.
Yeah.
And I just noticed I'm useless. You know, they're doing the names and everything, and you know, everybody deserved to be there. You know, everybody
Yeah.
worked so hard to be there.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all the nominees that were there. But you know, anytime we've never won anything other than being Sepsiss. You know,
Right.
this is like a, you know, for some people, like some people have bands and it, like they're hobbyists. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all level. There's all level of bands.
This is our
Absolutely.
life. This is our life, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
For us, you know what I mean. Some people, it's a weekend thing, a thing they do with your friends or whatever. This is me and Melissa's life.
Oh, yes.
Right. Absolutely.
Sepsiss all day, every day, inside and out.
This
This
is
I
for-
know because I am a swarmy. I do follow it. I do share. Absolutely share everything. I love following you guys. I love watching what you're doing. One of the things I love that you bring to the table is you talk about the industry in ways that other people don't.
Hold that thought because I do want to get into that, but we have a call. EZG, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, it's got a quick question. You talk about a road trip to your drummer there. I was wondering if you guys ever made a road trip to play in Canada.
That's EZG's standard question.
Yes.
Really?
So I have. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, here you go, Easy. Yeah.
I have a meeting this Monday about a Canada trip.
Oh,
2 shows.
excellent.
Excellent.
Wow, that's great. All right, well, I'll listen to the rest of the show, and you guys have a great
I appreciate
Tuesday.
you, man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, EZG, thank you.
We love our EZG.
Yes.
I'd love to get to Canada because that's where my family's from.
Oh,
Where-
cool.
Canada?
Yeah, we're very Canadian.
I would like to go to Canada because we have a lot of fans there, and I think if we went there and it was well planned, we would probably have a good turnout if everyone prepared.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, Jenny mentioned, you talk about the music industry and the it's what is the name of the podcast?
So
Because I feel
the
like
confusion is expanding.
because I feel like it changed at one point, right?
Okay, so
No.
It didn't.
I love it.
No.
I feel like the name changed. No.
Okay, so Lexi has bear with me. Lexi has a podcast called the Metal Honeys Podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the one you do with Melissa, right?
No.
No.
Oh.
No. So
Oh.
We have a whole network.
so we right. There's a whole
There's a hive.
there is.
Oh, yeah.
And if I had to explain all the lore someday, they'd be like a big family tree. But the Metal Honeys podcast is Lexi in her world of honeys, and they talk about the music industry on their own. And
Okay.
and that is like her generation and like a view from, like, I say this because I'm feeling old. But it's young people's perspective on rock and roll today, modern technology, and the entertainment industry as a whole. And then you have Swarm TV. And Swarm TV is not a podcast. It's a live stream.
Okay.
So Melissa's a streamer.
Yeah.
And streamers are a little bit different than podcasters. Podcasting is more like what we're doing here.
Yep.
I could do this.
Right.
Live streaming is when you talk to the fans. You kind of do a little bit of a hybrid thing because you're reading on your live stream right now,
Right.
as well as broadcasting. I can't do it. I don't have the faculties.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
So Melissa's great at it, and she does Twitch and live streaming, and the raids and the multi-stream.
I watch her paint sometimes.
I can't, like, it.
Yeah.
She does the she can put her brain in several pieces of the room and
Well,
spread. Well, I don't.
It's a talent that women tend to have. Let's just say.
I'm serious. And she wears many hats during this thing, and she can kind of bookmark and keep up the conversations. Whereas on the podcast, and that's why I brought these guys with me, the Honeycomb Hideout
Oh, okay. Right.
is every midweek. It's Hump Day.
Wednesday, let me.
Wednesday, let me. So it's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and it's 7 to 9, and it's live, but it's not so much of a podcast as it is a show about a podcast. So it's really a live stream
Yeah.
of us podcasting.
Right.
It's not really a podcast. It's not the podcast where you listen to it on Apple Music Podcast or something.
I kind of see it as a round table, and as
Yes.
the person,
Yeah.
as the visitor coming in to watch, I get a seat at the table. But when I'm in your stream, and I can say something or whatever, if I'm on your YouTube or if I'm on your Facebook stream or what have you, I can say something. They pop up on the screen. You guys respond to it, and I love it. But it is more of a conversation that you're getting to participate in as the viewer. That's my take on the Honeycomb.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, very good. It's live. It's interactive.
Educational.
Somebody could slip on a banana peel. Somebody could say the wrong. I mean, and that's the excitement behind it.
Right.
The other thing I want to point out, though, it's not. People might watch a 20-second reel of it and go, "Oh, these guys are educators," but it is perspective. I think a lot of people might imagine us as coming on and presenting like facts, but it's more experience it's education through the experience and the point of view through the conversational piece of the participants and the people on the table. Meaning, I might say something, we might have a conversation about backtracks or something, and there could be several different frequencies and opinions about that.
Yeah.
Where it's so there's not a band narrative, there's not an overall voice that speaks for the band or the podcast. Everybody kind of participates, and we salt and pepper to taste.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and everybody kind of just respects the space. But you know, it's not fact nor fiction. It's human beings with a human take on it.
Yeah.
And every band is different, and every entertainment department is different. We realize that for us, we're an independent band, and we talk about a lot of topics from the perspective of independence. So if you're somebody that's in, and we're saying it all the time, if you're somebody that's in pursuit of a music industry, then we can be easily misunderstood in 20 seconds of film,
Right.
or 20 seconds of reel, because it's not fact based. It really is the experience of the band that we're narrating.
Yeah.
So if you're a band and you're coming on and you're looking for solutions, the Honeycomb Hideout might not be the greatest conduit to the industry, because independent musicians looking to keep their independence shouldn't go through the music industry.
Expand on that if you would. That's interesting.
There are the tools are different, Matt. So like the tools that you need to hone and the acquisitional responsibilities and relationships that you would need as an independent are useless in the music industry.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like you wouldn't take on a path of investing yourself and putting yourself in the nucleus of the industry in pursuit of Grammys and do the kind of stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to pursue, we've been on the charts before. You wouldn't want to pursue charts because the time that you're doing to pursue a professional music industry or the products or the acquisitional tools and features of a music industry.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be independent with the goal of getting into the music industry to then unlock your independence.
Right. I get what you mean.
If you're planning on being independent, and you'll see this a lot of times, people, you'll say, what are you doing? They say, well, we're independent. We say, well, why are you independent? Not what, why?
Right.
What are the goals behind being an independent? Oh, so I can get into the music industry. Then what are you going to do when you get there? I'm going to be independent.
Yeah.
So you're going to work your way to get to all of these, you're going to have to rely on these relationships and tools. So you're going to acquire independent tools. You're going to acquire independent relationships. You're going to build your resume in independence. You're going to be able to show your work in independence.
Right.
And then you guys got to understand that the music industry is an industry that is designed for artists to need them.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
So if you don't need that, so the issue
Right.
is if there's nothing that they can take away from you,
Yeah.
if there's nothing that they could give to you, we get left out a lot of times of the products and features of the music industry because they can't take them away.
Yeah. I feel like
We're not invited.
we have seen examples of Taylor Swift sort of trying to, when you mentioned unlocking your independence once you're in. I mean, obviously, who's more in the music industry than Taylor Swift?
No one.
But now she's trying to, because she was upset about her catalog being bought out from her. I don't
Yes.
know all the intricacies of it, but
Yes.
so she went and re-recorded everything and is re-releasing it separate from the previous deal that she was in because she's trying to reclaim her independence. Or
Yes.
I'm reminded of what Prince did. This goes back to the, what was that, late 90s? When he, when he decided he didn't want to be a part of the system anymore, or he called it a matrix, and he said, I don't want to be with Warner Brothers anymore.
Yes,
because-
we've done this all before. People
Yeah.
have just forgotten.
Yeah. So you see examples of people trying to kind of who are so. It seems to be the ones who are in deepest in the music
We
industry.
are a
itself
perfect
trying to-
example.
Yeah.
we go on the part of the podcast is, us making fun of ourselves, Matt. A lot of times that people go,
yeah,
how are you able to talk about this? What qualifies you guys to talk about how silly it is to get a record deal? Well, it's because we had a record deal.
Oh, you did?
Well, how can we talk about pay to play? It's because we've done it.
Yeah.
How can we talk about being scammed? I mean, it's one thing to be an alcoholic and go to school for it. You know what I mean? To talk about alcoholism and read it out of a book, But it's another thing to or read about homelessness or go to school for homelessness. But it's another thing to live on the street. So in terms of education and experience, what we talk about on the podcast isn't just some like narrow or like one-sided or one-dimensional experience. A lot of what we talk about on the podcast is because, like alcoholism, not only have we read books on it and studied it and lived through it, and we have family members and people that have been affected by it, but we've also tasted alcohol. Not just that we're reporting on pay to play, we're reporting on Spotify, we're reporting on unfairness. Like Taylor Swift, your taste buds change. You get hip. I mean, people recruit people to fight wars before their brains developed.
Yes.
And the same thing with the music industry. They recruit before your brains develop, before you know how to use the tools, before you know how to make use of the responsibilities.
Yeah.
The most responsible people in the room, Matt, get to make the rules. Okay? And before you learn what the responsibilities are, they want to make sure that you've paid your dues.
Right.
Yeah. And then nobody wants to talk about it. So you pay your dues, and then you're not popular if you talk about it, because in the industry it's not popular to talk about unfairness.
True.
So Taylor's grown up. Taylor Swift has grown up, and so is Sepsiss. You get in. You start this stuff, you get into music, and for a lot of us, we all got into music in a time where we were shaping our identities, okay, when we were kids. So for a lot of us, we got into this in a time when we were trying to shape who we were and who we are.
Right.
And that changes as your brain develops.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the human brain really, until you're 25, it hasn't really fully developed. And
sometimes for late bloomers into your 30s.
Sure.
So clinically speaking, biologically speaking, like human beings, we stay kids longer than other creatures. Kittens and grasshoppers don't remain in their youth, as long as human beings do.
Yeah.
So we're infatuated with our youth. Our creature is. We're infatuated with, immortality and living forever. And we're infatuated with all, having all and subscribing to all and living forever in the fountain of youth. So believe me, the record companies, believe me, the generals and the presidents and believe me, that's who the pushers find.
Right.
That's who the chicken hawks go after, is the young and impressionable kids that want to be rock stars. And by the time you're old enough to learn the game, they done changed the technology on you. The format's different.
Are there?
Yeah.
As soon as you learn radio, they change it to cassettes. Then you learn cassettes, then they change it to CD. And then the CD, then you rip it all off the web. When you were a kid, all you wanted to do was be on MTV. There's no MTV anymore.
Yeah.
There hasn't been MTV for a long time.
There hasn't been anything. No, but there hasn't been anything for a long
generation.
time. There hasn't been anything for a long time.
True that.
Not even dinosaurs. They never came back.
That's true.
Things come and they go. And that same thing with MP3, same thing with Bluetooth, Blu-ray, laser discs. Everything will come and everything will go.
Can you talk about some of the things? I mean, William, you mentioned like some of the things you've been through, like pay to play and a bad record deal and all that. I mean, can you expand on some of that? And I'm a music industry nerd, so this is particularly interesting to me.
I can expand past the time you're scheduled here, but these guys might want to expand a little bit. I'll never stop expanding. That's kind of my bad habit.
My question was right on that same lines. What's the most frequent thing that you see with younger bands getting pulled into, or is it the pay to play? What is the one you see the most frequently you think?
Being told they have to sell tickets to be on the bill. Like you have to sell a minimum 50 tickets, and each ticket is like $25. And if you don't sell all of them, we kick you off.
That's a popular one.
And the band takes nothing.
Nothing. They're not even allowed to perform.
Yeah, many times those bands don't get paid.
And that's just for the like opening slot on the parking lot stage outside the venue.
A lot of times we find, this is going to bother a lot of people, a lot of times we find that we're the only band that's getting paid.
Yeah.
Did you experience it that yourself when you were first starting? Where did you end up doing this?
I'll tell you,
the ticket sales.
I sure did when I played in bands.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
And we did a lot of our me and Melissa did in the beginning. We did a lot of paying our dues, but I need to make it clear that, oh man, I'm foot in mouth here, but we've been really lucky. We've been really taken care of. We're a really privileged band. A lot of people come, a lot of people go with us, but like me and Melissa, we've been doing this since 2010. We've been really lucky and really blessed to have had people on our side and kind of guiding us along the way. And we've made a whole lot of mistakes, but that's part of the ride. But
Welcome to being human.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just want to say, like, yes, we've paid our dues, but we haven't been held hostage to it because we're not stupid, and we know what unfair looks like. And me and Melissa, a big feature of this band, being in it was standing up for ourselves. So we also come from the street. You know what I mean? We're not a little privileged band that comes from, a garage that's all decked out with mommy bought you an amplifier.
Right.
We know what I'm saying? Me and Melissa don't come from that.
Yeah.
Sepsiss doesn't come from that.
Yeah.
Oh, I respect.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
So for us, we're not making music for riches or fame, and a lot of these kids, they're in it for the wrong reasons. So that's why they're easy to take. So that's why the chicken hawks, it's easy to drop a line in the pond. But for us, we come from court backgrounds, law backgrounds, the street, prison, jail. I was in boys' homes and juvenile halls growing up. I was, I'm also adopted. I didn't grow up with any family. So I grew up in the family court system. So I had lawyers my whole life. I was also a childhood rapper, DJ.
Oh, no kidding.
All this. So I had managers growing up. I was hip to. I had press background.
Interesting.
Some broadcasting background. I got some of my first. I had my broadcasting background at WHEB. Lived in Portsmouth.
No kidding.
Me being a Portsmouth resident, street performer, dancer, the theaters, repertory theaters. So I grew up in the environment.
Yeah.
So I was like. You grow up in the environment, you know about managers, especially during the 80s and 90s, it was real sleazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had the kids on the take, and that's who the talent scouts were after, was the kids.
Yeah.
So I was in modeling agencies as a kid. I did a lot of performing. I used to perform for Pro Portsmouth. I was in the newspaper all the time, Market Square Day. So we were hip to more, we were hip to it.
Yeah.
Early.
By the way, Legion of Solace is in the chat and says, we are proud to call ourselves partner and affiliate with the Sepsiss family for the last 2 or 3 years now.
Woo.
Very nice.
I don't know how many years we've been around.
I love when our partners can't tell how many years they've been around because it feels like they're just part of it.
Right, yeah.
You've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
When you say, I don't know, like in the record industry, they have this little box that says perpetual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't. Right. So everybody, Swarmy Fest was an absolute success.
Oh, it broke my heart to miss it.
No, I know, and I'm not going to twist the knife. I'm really not. But everybody, I'll have everybody looked for you guys, though.
Really? Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
But that should make you feel good, though.
There's
nothing you could have done.
We'll be at the next one.
Period.
I assume it's going to be annual, right?
Oh yeah, no. So Swarmy Fest 3 is November 2nd.
Excellent. You've already got that locked in at Jewel?
Yeah, it's at Jewel. It's at November 2nd next year. If you're a band you want to play.
Excellent.
Come on down.
Email Richie Downs.
I'll rent a
little
horse if I have
New
to.
Hampshire humor there. Email NH Booking if you'd like to play Swarmy Fest 3.
Excellent.
You know you want to.
I know it.
It is. It's 2 stages. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
The 2-stage thing was awesome.
Tell us about it. What was it like? I mean, how did it go?
Okay, well, I was nervous the whole time.
Total love the honesty, yeah.
Yeah, because we never did 2 stages at Jewel. I've played Jewel a bunch of times. And
Yeah.
and what I was nervous about is the sound is so good on the front stage.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want anybody to have less. I was really, especially we had some really good bands in the other room, and there wasn't anybody up there that wasn't absolutely qualified to play the main stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all those other bands were perfect for the main stage.
Yeah.
I don't like to even use that English.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody was dressed great. The attitude. I love when a show comes together and everyone's participating.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about what's the blueprint or the template for independents coming together and having a great show? This is it.
Yeah.
Swarmy Fest is it.
That's the one.
And the purpose of Swarmy Fest is to prove unequivocally that local talent can get together at high quality. There's no buy-ons.
Yep.
There's no pay to play.
Yeah.
There's opportunity forever. People that stay to the end can get some gas money. People that everyone's encouraged to participate. Of course, Matt Connarton is involved, opening the doors, letting all the bands come down here to get some press and some airtime.
Oh, I loved getting the bands in.
Yeah.
You
Like
guys have
that is it,
such
like
a lineup. Oh, wow.
like Solace coming and being a part of that. They made a huge weekend coming down supporting bands all the way up the coast.
Yeah.
Culminating in Swarmy Fest, visiting with their partners, and it wound up being this huge frequency of people from all over the area that come in and to celebrate traditional neighborhood, homegrown music. And there's no crazy egos, there's no fist fights flying around. Nobody owes anybody money. There's no celebrities. There's no rock stars. Nobody's a headliner or a co-headliner. Nobody went over set times. Nobody begged for encores. No, nothing came up missing.
Awesome.
This
That
is what
is
I
so
love
great.
about Swarmy Fest.
A quality network is
Right.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and-
community, bringing it all together.
And-
It was really strong.
It was, and it's for the purpose to show that neighborhood bands are top quality and they draw.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Sorry about that.
we're on
and they draw.
We're on a delay. I caught it.
I forgot about that.
Sorry.
And they draw. I'm always saying the F word on the podcast. Sorry about that. And they draw.
Yeah.
They draw. And that's the big purpose. We want to try to teach everybody as much as we possibly can. The bands that we're working with, we want to try to teach and encourage them to draw.
We have a call.
This is Malcolm from Legion of Solace.
Hey,
Welcome.
Oh.
Malcolm, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I just wanted to call in and say I had an amazing time from my first trip from Lynchburg, Virginia, all the way up there. Sepsiss threw it on. Swarming Fest was excuse my language, was the bee's knees. And I want to say, Matt, it would have been an honor to get meet you guys, but
Yeah,
it is
I
what it
apologize.
is.
Yeah.
I'm just wanted to call in and say thank you for doing what you're doing also, because it is amazing. I run a radio show. I know what you're doing, and it's amazing.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it. I love everything that all you guys are doing. I'm glad to know every last one of you.
Oh, thank you,
No,
Malcolm.
thank you so much, Malcolm.
Thank you very much.
We love you very much.
No problem, guys. And y'all keep it up, man, and I can't wait to see y'all next year at Swarmy Fest, because I already written it on my calendar. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Yay.
That's so exciting.
That's awesome.
I'm going to get back to watching you guys. I just wanted to call in real quick. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for waking up in the
y'all taking
morning.
some time to answer the phone.
All right, Malcolm. Thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, thank you to anybody that woke up this morning.
All right, bye-bye.
So, question for everybody's favorite March girl: did you sell out of the Swarmy Fest T-shirts?
I was so close.
Yeah, we're
Oh, you
close.
still have some?
I still have a couple.
Ooh, we need to talk.
Yeah. No, we could hook you up.
Definitely. For sure.
I can't believe I missed that. But like Malcolm said something that was so important. Is like we were talking about, like, it's not about like what you earlier, like what you're doing. Like, okay, the what is like you're having the show, and what the bands are moving the gear back and forth, and they're tuning the guitar strings. But like, why? And it, like Malcolm really just pointed it out. And your ability to slash and zap swear words. I don't know if anybody got this, but the friendship, man, the friendship, the humanity.
Yeah.
Magical.
Just no hocus pocus. This was a magical moment of communities and people from all over the region, all over the country coming together. I mean, we got people who bust in and people that flew in, wives, girlfriends,
awesome.
kids. I mean, families. This is a family affair. It's a family event. And it there's no big math. There's no arithmetic. It's people that love homegrown rock and roll.
Yeah.
It proves that people love drums and guitars and screaming and dancing. And
Yep.
it's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, it's that simple. There's no rule in the world. It's something that we've always loved to do. You know, and we're proving that people still love to do it.
Who was the furthest away band who came and played? Who do you know offhand? Who, like, I'm curious who was.
Our guitar player? No. So, Hot Sauce, our guitar player, she drives. She's up there.
Yeah.
She's way up there. But I think she's up there with
Dark Rain.
Yeah.
Dark Rain is up there.
Yeah, because I think they
Wichita.
came from the. Yeah.
Wichita, Maine.
Oh, okay.
What did she say?
Wichita?
Yeah, Wichita.
There was a
Worcestershire
Wichita,
sauce?
Maine.
Huh?
I didn't know there was a Wichita, Maine.
I didn't either.
Wichita
Until I looked
Road.
up Dark Rain.
Isn't that a band? That's a band too, huh? Wichita?
Which
that-
Oh, Witch Trot.
That's a band, isn't
That is a
it?
band.
We had
Shout
them
out
on
to
We
the,
had them.
Wichita.
we had them on the show.
See?
What?
Yep, I have a
That's
t-shirt.
crazy. I told you. I know all the
Wichita
bands.
T-shirt.
No, we play. We've seen them play. I think at the Hill, Wichita.
Oh, Charlie's Hill?
That's
is
right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really good. Salvatore is in the chat room, by the way. He says, I am there in spirit.
No, he's right now. He's loading in his drum kit in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
With his broken arm. I hope,
Right.
I hope
I
someone's
know what
helping
he's
him.
doing.
Gotta meet this guy.
Yeah.
Really? You've
In
never
person.
met Sal?
I don't think I've ever met in person.
I don't think we have.
No.
Okay. So
We have to make this
me and
happen
Sal
now.
are both Libras, but he's definitely more balanced. This guy is. Sal's the most balanced guy in the band.
Yeah.
He's got to be. He's a drummer.
He's so chill.
Him and Melissa, I think, are the most chill.
So chill.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, because we need them the most, of course.
Malcolm Wood in the chat says, almost had our car towed away for this.
Oh my God.
I forgot about that.
What happened?
I didn't know about that.
At
What?
Swarmy Fest?
It
Yeah.
was quite the.
I love stories.
It was quite the theater, you know. Of course, everybody's pulling in, and
Yeah.
there was no places to park. And if these guys are partners, though, and we always park in the same place, and we get out there, and there's just, I mean, there's a circle, there's a kerfuffle.
It was,
There was a kerfuffle.
oh no.
And I, you know, it's Manchester, so I'm used to kerfuffles.
oh
But
no.
I'm not. I was very disappointed to see that it was the Solace. It was everybody and me just autopilot. You know, there's nowhere to park. Like people say, where do you park in Manchester? Nowhere.
Right.
Well, it's weird. Usually, like, there's a lot of lots nearby, but the lot directly next door to Jewel is, like, super uptight. So, like, they have, like,
I think
tow
it's how they
truck
make their
drivers just
money.
lurking around.
I think it's how they make their money. Is they sit near Jewel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
And
And it's such a fine line between where the Jewel parking lot is and where
Yep.
the neighbor's parking lot is.
Yep.
So they parked in that one spot that happened to be on the other person's
And these
turf. And
these two tow truck drivers get out. I think they had a total of 3 teeth. They get out and they had this car on. I mean, they had it loaded up faster than you
they're-
could say black light invasion.
Oh, they're pros.
I mean, this thing was up, and
Oh my God.
it was a standoff out there. It was the Legion versus the tow truck people.
Really?
Wow.
And I already told you the tow truck people only have 3 more teeth. They had no more teeth to lose, and they were outnumbered. And the guy is crazy.
Did
It might have
charge you to
it might have
drop
been
it?
90 pounds, and he's screaming and yelling, banging on his chest. And I was like, "Can we please de-escalate?
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh my
boy.
goodness.
Can we please de-escalate?"
Because usually once they've got your car hooked up, that's it. Like you got to
They'll
pay
charge you a
them.
fee
Yeah.
to
Oh
drop
no, they
it.
charged a fee.
To drop it?
Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah,
$200
it's a
to get
lot
it
of
off
money.
the truck.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
way.
charged them the full
Wow.
tow fee. Yeah.
Awful.
Maybe next year,
Oh.
put up like one of those police tape things. Not police tape, but tape. Don't park past here.
Well, we thought, we had tasers and pepper spray. We thought, but they already had the.
Once they got it
Yeah,
up,
they already got it
you're
up.
done.
Yeah, Malcolm says in the chat we paid $175.
Wow.
To drop
Mind
it.
you,
Yep.
yeah,
Bro.
That's
Yeah.
stinky.
and this guy's like yelling, and Malcolm is this huge guy,
Yeah.
and this tiny little guy's yelling at Malcolm. I'm going, this is not good for the little guy.
No.
I said, Malcolm is this big guy, and there's this little guy with the tow truck.
But the problem is the little guy has all
He's
the
got the
power.
key, right.
He's got the car. He's got the car hooked up. He's got the power.
Right.
Yep.
Give me
So at
money
one
or I'm
point-
going away.
This must be like a trained operation because if they had it up as quickly as
It
you
was
said
so
that they
fast.
did, this is a trained
There are
operation.
videos
Like they
on YouTube
stopped.
of these guys with secret cameras.
What?
Yeah, I think
I've
they had
seen them.
drones out there waiting
are
for us to
videos
park.
Of secret cameras watching people park. No parking sign right there. No parking.
Yep.
And the tow truck drivers just whoosh.
Okay, so
They're
we were
in
talking-
and out before you know it.
We were talking earlier about the music industry and about the podcast and how we're always reporting about gatekeepers, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing with wiffle ball bats and shoehorns and parking. It's at every industry that you can find. People think we're always talking about the music industry. No. We're talking about life.
Yeah.
When
life.
the stuff we're reporting on isn't really about paying your dues in the music industry. When we talk about scams and schemes in the music industry, anybody that watches our podcast should start thinking about the industry that they're currently working in.
Sure. Sure.
You're right.
Oh yeah.
The landscaping industry. So if you don't have to be a fan of rock and roll to like the hard rock and heavy metal reset. You don't have to be into Sepsiss to love the Honeycomb Hideout or to learn something about your own industry.
Right.
Because what we're reporting about is happening in every
Every-
industry.
Everywhere. Global.
Yeah, he says in the chat, we had enough time to carry the T-shirts inside to set up our merch table and run back out to stop our car from being stolen. They didn't know that they was about to get a Lynchburg, Virginia butt kicking.
Yeah, like these guys in Virginia, they
probably
don't
have
care.
one of those new tow trucks where they just back up to you. It's got that.
That's all it
the
was.
metal
No,
bar,
it was-
and it just goes whoop.
And no, and
up
I
they
saw-
go. They don't have to do nothing. They can just.
I was speaking with the
pick it
guy, and I
away.
said,
Wow.
after we had a version of de-escalation,
Yeah.
which is like not screaming, I was pointing out, these guys are loading in for a job. Like, it's not that they were parked.
Yeah.
Right.
We were getting the equipment out of the car. It wasn't like we were settled in and that. I mean, these guys drove up across country
Right.
and pulled the T-shirts out of the car, turned around, and then had this surprise. I love them guys, man. They did such a great job, though.
They did.
Like, we had so much fun that we can, like, I want to say they really made it comfortable and fun to have, out-of-state sponsors come. We don't usually have sponsors from out of state come. We usually just have people come in as like guests at that rate.
Yeah.
But Bruce and everybody really like insisted, and we had these guys were so great. They had a formal pre-production meeting with us about coming down. I mean, if I could say anything, making friends and solidifying those relationships with those people was some of the most memorable moments of the weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah.
No
Excellent.
hocus pocus. It really was. It was magical, despite it made all the things we can't control and made it really valuable.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you have a big production like that and there's 2 stages and people coming in and you got friends and family and guests and you're hoping everybody doesn't get sick or call out or cancel, the only thing you could really do when it's go time, you drove out there 1,000 miles and you got all your gear out there and you're in a different state. The only thing you truly have control over at any time is your attitude towards any circumstance.
Right.
You know,
Right.
The show's gone. The show must go on. Just like, you know, with the events and circumstances that happen with you guys, you know. And, you know, if you'd have had a terrible attitude about it, that'd have been the only thing you could control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because things are going to happen in your life. There's going to be things that pop up and events and circumstances that there's nothing you could physically put your hands on. And the only thing you're going to be able to grasp or grip is your sense of self-control. And that's through the attitude. Are you going to have a great attitude, a positive attitude about something, or you're going to have a bad attitude? You know, everyone's going to get a painful tooth, or you're going to you're going to bump your toe, or you're going to get a flat tire, and you can't control all of that. You can't control when it's going to rain. You really can't control every record sale, and everybody's worried about every insight and metric and every follow, and we're in that time in life where everyone's cutting every nucleus and examining it and measuring it and then cutting that and then giving a name to it and a sub-label and a category. And this is time when we're kind of like hyper-focused on these microtransactions and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just cool to zoom out every now and then and be like, you know what? I don't really control any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to have a good attitude about it.
Yeah. By the way, Hans is in the chat room, Hans Smith. And hello. And I don't know this person, but I love the name Gideon Eckhart. I love the name Gideon. Says love to you all. Hello.
Yo, much love.
Hi.
And what is next for Sepsiss? What do you have coming up?
You're going to give me an anxiety attack.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, kidding.
That's not good.
So I only say that rhetorically because I know everybody has anxiety and does all that, and we all do. But I say that like people say OCD. People just they throw around these words, you know, like we're all doctors or something, like we went to school.
Oh, watch out! You're gonna give me heartburn saying that.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna start WebMD and everybody in this room.
My blood pressure?
No, stop it. It's like because we all have the ability to look up all these fancy words. We all forget that like people go to school for this stuff. Like you can't just be a brain surgeon because you read a website.
To be fair, I'm on medication for a lot of this stuff.
Matt's a broadcaster. You can't just wake up and have a Facebook page and say I'm a broadcaster and actually be a broadcaster.
That's true.
I'm tired of that.
I was an EMT, so the medical jargon kind of,
Oh. What's next for us, Lex? There's so much, and really, like, I say anxiety, but it is a good anxiety. We started the conversation off with me saying how happy we are to be a band and a company, and be working with people that are excited, and it's great for me and Melissa. I'm speaking for myself now. It's good for us to be working with people that are grateful and that are behaving consistently, and sharing an energy with us that focus and prioritize our fans and our goals.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to be comprehensive, in tandem, speaking the same language, and it's good to be working with an entire room of people that can kind of speak the same language, and we can all go, this is the band we're in, we're all going in this direction, we all want to record, we all want to go to, Detroit or whatever we're going to do.
Right.
We can talk about that now. We can share those ideas openly. We can all write them down, and everyone kind of respects each other's space, and we're all grateful and participating mutually for the investment of the goals of the band. That's comprehensive.
Yeah.
It seems that's really what a band is at first, is like the actual physical and intellectual reality that there actually is a band. So everyone around has got to be in the band and agree that they're actually in it.
Right.
To have it.
Yeah.
Like that's the cool part about having a band, is actually having it, and we have it.
But that's also one of the hardest parts, right? I mean,
the hardest part of having a band is getting in the same room every week.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you can't get in the same room every week, then you can't learn the tunes.
Yep.
If you can't learn the tunes and you don't learn them well enough, nobody can really see the true value of the tunes. No one can get the tunes good enough where they go, oh wow, this might actually work, and then no one can audition these tunes in front of people.
Yep.
And then no one can audition them to the point where they adjust them and get them good in front of people.
Yeah.
Where everybody can get back in the room and agree that's what success is called.
Right.
I say so. We're you know what I mean it's that.
It's just a mess.
So what we're really happy about is we've checked off all the boxes for 2023. We don't know how other bands do it, but this is how we do it. We set goals for each year. We all sit down as individuals. We all write down on pieces of paper. He writes down 5 things. She writes down 5. Even our staff members do it.
Yeah,
Everybody. It's a rule.
Yeah.
We all sit down. We have rules in the band, and one of the rules is we got to know what you want.
How do you want to participate?
We don't right. Nobody. You're not allowed to be in the club unless you tell us what you want. Because there's no reason to be in here unless we can help you get what you want.
Yeah.
Because we know people won't do something for long unless they're getting what they want.
Right.
So that's why the band is very
we've done
goal
this for so
oriented.
long.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And like I said, this isn't something we don't just tune the guitars. We read about this stuff. We're in an evolving industry that in modern day era with the internet and information traveling at light speed, so does the music industry. So the industry is evolving over weeks and days, whereas the years ago you might have the time with a particular technology like CDs or something or radio. We had radio around for 50 years. But now we have something for weeks and until it becomes something else or evolves to something else. So like for us, when you think about who we are a modern rock. We're not rock from 1970s. So we're not hunting radio. We're not hunting outdated ideas. We're not hunting outdated technology. We're not hunting a rock and roll that our grandfathers were in. As much as we borrow from that, as much as we learn from that, and we've inherited skills from that, we can sample and marinate in those conversations and dip into that toolbox as special features, as for conversational pieces, whatever. But we're a modern band.
Yeah.
And we are and for us, it's our goal. We are constantly hunting what others are not doing. Whatever
The 1%.
we know. She's right. What we do is we're always hunting for that 1 to 5% of what other bands and our competitors aren't doing.
That's the research.
Strategy.
And the cool part is, if you're a band in New Hampshire or in the world, we're following you. Don't ever think that because ever think that does Ozzy Osbourne follow me or does this band like me?
Right.
Sepsiss follows you.
Yeah.
We follow everybody.
Yeah.
Even if we don't follow you and hit the button, we're following you. We're watching all of you.
And we're listening to your music.
We're listening to your music too. Whether you're doing karaoke, whether you're doing beatboxing or rapping, we're watching you. Don't.
I was just going to say, Robert Pan is in the chat room and says, "Hey Matt, Robert Pan from 2nd Street, Sunoco. My son is the drummer for Sepsiss." Very nice.
Bob is my favorite.
Well, apparently, I'll have to stop in at the 2nd Street Sunoco sometime to meet him.
Bob has been in our lives. So people don't notice about so Salvatore Pan is a returning member. and an original drummer for Sepsiss.
Oh, very cool. Good.
So
good.
so he left temporarily and started Rags to Stitches,
Okay.
and now he's back.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent.
Isn't that cool?
So cool.
We're about to change the look over there. We're about to, we're about to. Yeah, we want it to be more like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Or like
Really take you into a hideout.
Yeah, we want like trap
what
doors
about
to
the
come out,
Fiend?
explosions.
What about the Fiend? The playground.
Yes, we
Playhouse.
want like plants that are
Right?
dancing in the back. We want
You know what
we
I'm
want
talking
this to be,
Yes.
like maybe like a zombie or something. Not djembe. She's thinking djembe. She wants to play her drum.
That's what I thought too, because I've heard that word pronounced 1,000 different ways. I thought that's what you were saying.
You don't remember John? You don't remember Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Hiney Ho? That's not a bad word.
No.
That's not a bad word.
No, I don't. Think
Everybody's like, is Matt gonna zap him? Anyway, shout out to
have to bring
Clemento's.
in
They got
little
great
shot
pizza
buttons.
and guitars.
Nicole, I'm not going to say this correctly. I'm sure Budaj Sanborn. Says they are an amazing they are an amazing band musically and personally, each and every member. Very nice.
Oh man, we need as much people to say that as possible. So again, Nicole said that we're personally charming and we are personally satisfying. For the record,
And you're amazing.
She didn't say charming or satisfying,
Oh.
but she did say.
Greg said marvelous.
But she did say amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she used the word personal. See that, Zach?
Personal as opposed to personable.
Yes. Yeah. Well, me and Zach have this ongoing joke of people that watch us on the internet and review our personalities. I say, come on, you only see the 20-second clip of me. You don't know what happened before the clip or after. What do you think you're reviewing?
Are our personalities in review right now?
Right. Has it ever occurred to you that this might be my public personality?
Yes.
And that could be under review.
You know?
Oh, we had a question too. J-Fed, one of our friends from Vermont, had a question for Zach about.
Let's ask Zach questions.
About the length of your beard.
I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah,
but
same.
it moved quickly. Thankfully.
Now this isn't a problem yet, obviously. But if you were to grow it out, he was asking about growing it out, and would you be concerned about it getting caught in your bass strings?
It's funny. I actually just shaved recently.
Did you?
It was a lot longer.
Oh, okay.
Not too long ago.
Is that why you shaved it? Because it was
getting in the way. It's getting itchy.
I got you.
Tom played bass and didn't get stuck in the strings.
That's
and
true.
Guitar.
That's true. Well, you know, J-Fed, he's very into beards and ice baths.
Ice baths, yes. If you go to Vermont, he will invite you into a real ice bath.
A real?
He breaks the ice and gets in it. The colder it is, the happier he is.
That sounds
that's
awful.
incredible.
Well, that's good.
See, there are those of us who think, no, not so much. But
hypothermia.
he does
no,
have
thank
his
you.
fan. He does have a fan base.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's really cool.
I'm actually, in the summer that actually sounds amazing because I'm a very sweaty person.
No, honey. This is not about summer. This is not about summer. No. Like trudge out there in the snow, take a sledgehammer to the ice,
Listen,
and jump
me and
your
Lexi
butt
could
in there
barely make it
and
from the
stay
parking
in there
lot.
for as long as you would ever can stay. I think it's insane. I personally don't have any desire to do so.
Is it like the longer you stay in, you get a prize or something? Like if you can break the record? Because I'd try that.
I think it's only in his mind, the prize he gets.
Yeah, it's supposed to do something healthy for you, but I don't know what. I don't know what.
I won't knock it till I try it.
No.
Yeah. I'm not.
You would. I could see this. Yes.
Right?
we should. So you've all been very generous with your time, and we appreciate it. We'll let you bounce in a minute, but I do want to make sure everybody knows where to find you online, the band, the podcasts, everything. What should our listeners know in terms of keeping up?
Well, you should know that if you don't follow us, it'll be impossible to ignore us because Sepsiss has a talent of being everywhere online.
I was just going to say that. They're like me. They're everywhere.
Always. We have this 2024 will be the most productive year we've ever had. And that's a terrifying prospect because that means I have a lot of work to do. No, but I don't quote me on this and nail me to the cross, but Virginia, we'll be back in Pennsylvania this year. It looks like North Carolina. We'll be returning to the Chicago area. I got some huge news coming up for fans in the Midwest. I can't even get on that right now. Upstate New York, Ohio, Swarmy Fest 3, and so much more. We got new music coming out, maybe some acoustic songs. Of course, we got Take the World by Swarm, our second album.
I love Take the World by Swarm. I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The amazing our engineer and producer the amazing Glenn Robinson. As you know, his work has been nominated for Grammys before. Our producer, Glenn Robinson, from, of course, Jason Newsted, Gwar, Queensryche. If you don't know about our producer, go check him out. He's worked on everything from Guitar Hero to even remastering work with U2 on HBO. So go, if you didn't know, I would say Glenn Robinson is definitely the seventh member of Sepsiss. So he'll be back with us on the second record. Of course, our friends and partners and stations do have Romance and Reality. Romance and Reality is not released for streaming yet, but all of our friends have it. So
I believe you can pre-order it on DistroKid, and it's going to be released December 21st.
Yep.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
We're also going to hear it at the end of the segment.
I was going to say, maybe you might be able to hear it if you guys tune in. You get to hear, and I think that's the thing that cool thing that me and Melissa have been doing, is letting our fans and partners and radio stations get our music first before the industry gets it.
Yeah.
A lot of artists will go out and they give all their music to the industry.
Yeah.
We're doing something different. We're giving it to our friends and to our curators and to our partners first, and then the industry gets it later.
Yeah.
And then also we're playing in Connecticut on January 13th.
How could I forget?
I know.
Yeah,
Oh
Toad's
my
Place
God, where
with
we playing? I
Opus.
forgot.
His birthday bash.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we
Opus's
love
Blizzard Birthday Bash.
we love Dead by Wednesday. And
I used to book them here in Manchester. I booked shows for them when they would come up. This years ago.
Crazy.
Years ago.
I mean, there'll be a lot of people who probably will be funky about my next statement, but I think Dead by Wednesday is the perfect example of a poster band of success for New England bands. I think when you want to, if you want to go, what is the definition of making it? Because once if you truly make it, then maybe you'd be done, I guess. But this is like, what is the definition of moving forward towards a direction of making it?
Yeah.
I feel like Dead by Wednesday is one of those bands, and there are others, but I will say stiff competition. I would say Dead by Wednesday is by far the perfect example of New England bands making it and being successful. They are the entire package of what I think definably clearly represents successful bands in New England.
Legion of Solace in the chat says also the birthday bash in January will be a reunion for the original 6 lineup for Dead by Wednesday.
Yo, I didn't even know
What?
that.
That's not even
That's wild.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I am blown away.
Yeah.
What a wow. I'm blown away. I want it to be the Blizzard Bash. Can it be tomorrow?
Oh, we have to get this into Anna Randall in the chat room says, I personally think that Sepsiss is amazing on many levels. I'm not being biased, just stating the truth. Very nice.
She's famous.
Very cool. Very cool. So where should people go? Should people go to your main website for everything? Can they find everything there?
Yes.
All the shows and
Yes.
podcasts and
One-stop shop, sepsis.com.
Yeah, we're doing if anything I can, and this is a great advice for artists too. I know we've done a lot to rely and to count, and they're great tools, social media and all these third-party apps and the subscription lifestyle, as I like to call it. But this year, me and Lexi have gone over so many bands that just don't have websites.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And an address. If you were filling out a job application for Wendy's, you'd have an address.
Right.
You'd have a phone. You'd have a phone number.
Yep.
Right.
And an address. Bands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please.
Please.
You want to be taken seriously.
Yeah. You need a
That's
.com.
something else that we kind of recognize too, because we've actually given some folks some highlights on some of the websites we have.
For sure. I love what you guys got.
Because it's hard for some to get that first website up.
Fill out your bio. Have a phone that somebody can reach you at. A professional email and a website.
Please.
Have a home for your band.
There was a weird period. This goes back almost 20 years. But I remember when MySpace got really big. There was this because I've been at this.
Yeah, didn't we learn then?
Time.
Not to put. We should have learned that then.
But the thing is, so I've also been a web designer for a long time, and I would run into this a lot where bands would tell me, "Now we don't need a website. We have MySpace. We're on MySpace."
Oh my God.
And
they're using that as their home.
and that became a thing. Where
And that's a thing now with artists. Find us on Instagram or check out my Spotify.
Yeah.
This is
That's
the
not
one
your
that
website.
Bandoozle and Bands in Town
That's
and
not a website.
Bandemonium. What's the other one?
Reverb.
Bandcamp and
Bandcamp, yeah.
Bandtown.
Bands in town.
Packer.
Yeah.
They got to pack it up and start the buses. We can't find anybody.
Those aren't websites.
There's an app for every. I mean, and how many subscriptions are you going to have? Twitter's up for sale. They're doing subscriptions at Twitter everywhere. Everyone's going to. So you have a subscription to be yourself.
Right.
Pretty soon you're going to be subscribing to your last name if it's not nailed down.
Right.
You and the Social Security Department
Right.
are going to start a subscription. Let me get out of here.
They need a website.
I love you.
No, you're right though. Yeah. So Sepsiss. It's a Sepsiss.
Yes, we're doing everything from sepsiss.com.
And we should, for people who don't know, it's SEPSISS.
You can find us on all the Snapper Google poppers. We're all on all the stuff.
You're very Googleable.
Yes, but
Which is
And we
important.
can find you on many of these services.
right, we're on all
you
of
do
that
have a
stuff.
home.
Yeah.
Yes, but we do.
Please visit our home.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. Bands are always talking about, you can do all this virtual stuff and spend all kinds of money. To support Sepsiss, you don't have to spend any money all the time.
Yeah.
It could just be something simple as leaving us a Google review or signing our guest book on our .com. Those are things that you could do to help out really any band that don't cost a lot of money. And you know what? Get off the internet and go see a show. If not our show,
A show.
If you don't come and see Sepsiss, go see the band in your neighborhood. People are always asking me, you see these things online, who's the most underrated band? And then you'll see people will say their favorite celebrity bands. The most underrated, underdeveloped, underappreciated, underpaid band that is super talented is your neighbor.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not even kidding. If there's anything I've learned this year from the process that we've done and how we've been changing the format all year, more and more I get into music. It's I always tell them, it's unbelievable how much talent we have. In New England, just in our town, just in our city. I'm always floored by how many new and amazing artists come up I get to see. I mean, it really does surprise me. You think that it's there's a whole lot of diamonds out there.
Oh, definitely.
Yep, absolutely. Well, so we'll let y'all go. Thank you again, by the way, for the wonderful shirts. Thank you, the three of you, for coming in.
Yes, shout out to Bruce and Malcolm and everybody in the Solace.
We're definitely going to be having you guys back in.
Yeah,
and I know I definitely want to have you guys come back in and talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the industry.
The cool thing about
Sepsiss
Sepsiss is we can bring back more people. So, we could completely switch everybody out. It could be strangers next time.
That's right.
Right. So we'd just send, Salvatore and Hot Sauce, and it would be like having complete strangers. They'll walk in, and you guys would be like, who are you people?
I will recognize them.
Right.
Thank you.
Because you're a swarmy.
Thank you. How dare you think I wouldn't?
So if you didn't know, so there are levels to this now. So there's there's fans and of course people are like, what is a swarmy? Swarmies are the closest thing that you can be to being in the band.
Oh, okay.
People don't know that. So so there's fans and there's super fans and then there's swarmies, and swarmies are almost like staff members, but the elite green beret of the swarmy is called the Yellow Jackets.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you're a Yellow Jacket, so a swarmy is like a prestigious fan. a Swarmy is a ultimate Sepsiss fan, but is a public fan. Because like some fans would be your fan, but they're not publicly.
Right.
Like I'm your fan conveniently. You know what I mean?
Whenever you're
Like,
catering
I'm
to
a
me.
fan when you're doing stuff that
I like.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're
Something
doing
for
what-
me.
I didn't like
Right.
that. I'm not sharing it.
Right. When I agree
Right.
with you 100%, then I'm your fan. Okay. But like.
If it's 2% off, nope.
Right, celebrating differences? Nope. But Yellow Jackets are the fans that celebrate us publicly, regardless of our differences, regardless of our humanity, regardless of what makes us special and unique. Yellow Jackets are the I would say the elite Swarmy.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
cool.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
Love it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.